So hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast, where, apart from some big news, we have a relatively free week. We're in peacetime between two triple headers. A chance to catch our breath, get ready for the end of the season, which is coming next week. Well, the end of the season is next week. Triple header.
We just get rid of the last two races.
I mean, can we?
No.
Can we just go Vegas and call it a day?
No.
Money says no.
Yeah.
I need to exhaust the mathematical possibilities.
I need time to make our end of year show.
But yeah, let's get down to the big news, and that Sauber have announced that neither Valtteri Bottas or Guan Yu Zhou will be getting retained for 2025, and that seat will instead be going to a rookie, which is interesting.
I mean, it's not just any rookie. It is Gabriel Bortoleto.
Yeah.
He has proved himself in F2 to be quite a handy race driver.
Yeah.
So I can't blame them. Both Valtteri and Zhou have arguably had their chance. On the counter-argument side, you can say that this car has been dog shit.
A bus. Yep.
But equally, I believe Valtteri has now signed as Mercedes reserve.
Yep.
So he's just got himself a cushy little part-time job. And anyway, he keeps himself busy. I don't know if you've seen some of his latest social media stuff. He just casually between races at home did an Ironman.
Yeah, I did see that.
Madness.
Wild.
Yeah. Like, absolutely insane. But, fair play to him. But anyway, Gabriel Bortoleto, Brazilian race car driver.
Yes.
First time we've had a full-time Brazilian on the circuit since Massa?
I think it is something like that, yeah.
So that would be, 2017? Did Massa retire?
Yeah, it's like 2017, yeah. Well, no, was it? Might have been 2016.
Basically, when did he go to Formula E?
Don't know.
Felipe, since the end of 2017.
Okay, there we go.
Cool.
So,
because I was thinking Stroll at Monza, but then that must have been 2018.
Well, that'd be good for Brazil next year. Home hero on the circuit, provided he lasts that long. You can't.
Well, he's not
guarantee
an RB,
anything.
So...
well, true. But hey, Williams decided to join that rank this year, so
they give him an extra year or whatever, haven't they?
Yeah, true. They were like, we'll see how it goes, and then it was just more of the same, and they were like, we can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And then Williams had probably their most expensive weekend yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think a lot of teams had a very expensive weekend, though, so it's kind of like, as much as it stings, it stung for a lot of teams. So.
True.
I can't actually remember where he is in the standings because it's been that long since I've actually dealt with any F2 stuff, because they've had...
It's been that long since we've had any Formula 2 action.
He's the championship leader.
Yeah.
By 4.5 points.
That's less good. That's very close.
Yeah, well, he is leading who I would put as an outsider for that RB seat. I say he's an outsider because I think if they give Checo the boot at the end of the season, then I think he gets the RB seat. If they don't give Checo the boot at the end of the season, then I don't think he gets it. Because I think
I was just about to come on to the RB seat and saying that is the only seat now technically available on the grid. Although
it's pretty much
everyone,
Lawson's.
everyone thinks, well, yeah, it's pretty much Lawson's, but also there's the very strong possibility that the Red Bull seat is going to become available come the end of the season.
Yeah. So Isaac Hadjar sat in second in the F2 Championship on 165 points. You know, a good total. Part of the Red Bull Driver Academy. I would say that if that Red Bull seat does become available, then Hadjar would be a shoo-in for the RB team.
Yeah, to replace Tsunoda, who would most likely go to Red Bull.
Well, we don't know. All of the talk seems to be about the possibility of Lawson getting promoted to Red Bull.
But there's that, and there's also the Colapinto rumours as well.
Yeah, there is
Which
apparently
is
strong
weird.
chatter that James Vowles has been chatting to Red Bull about giving them Colapinto on loan, which would make sense because Red Bull, as a sort of family, done that with Albon to Williams at first. He was only on loan and then permanently joined Williams.
But you still,
If
I
I was
Red
Hadjar,
Bull-
that would really peeve me off.
yeah. But then, if you're Helmet, would you still not prefer to promote Liam, given that he's? Well, it's difficult to compare the two, but he's got more experience.
Liam's done a lot
In
of
terms
different
of
series
Formula
as
One,
well.
yeah. But it depends on what seats are available. Because ultimately, what Red Bull will say as well is Sergio does
Is in
have
contract.
a contract for
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
Right now, we're basically stirring the rumour mill for a seat that technically isn't available. Is it going to become available? Most likely,
But it should, yeah.
but we don't know that 100%. So we
Yeah.
can only really talk about what is currently Lawson's seat because that's really the only one that's up for grabs.
Yeah, in that case, I would say at least, that Lawson is the obvious candidate.
Yeah.
All rumours aside, he's the one that's already in the damn seat.
Yeah.
And as much as he hasn't signed a contract, he may as well have signed a contract. Because the whole point of getting him in now was to get him in ready to race for the start of next season.
Precisely.
So what's the point in getting him in now and getting him ready to the start of the races to race at the start of next season if he's not going to race next season?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, coming out of the paddock today, huge news, massive. Formula One has welcomed KitKat as the official chocolate bar partner of the World Championships.
I cannot wait to see some F1 branded KitKat chunkies. And I'm actually quite tempted to go.
What's it gonna taste of? Fucking rubber.
Yeah. No, I just want to go and like. Part of me is now really tempted to just go and buy some Kit Kats and a Kit Kat chunky.
Buy a Kit Kat and just like, yeah, I'm investing in F1.
And just like make a little F1 car out of Kit Kat.
You want
Kit Kat chunky as the body, normal Kit Kat fingers as the front and rear wing. I got it down.
But yeah, the press
the wheels
release
are the tricky
says
bit.
the F1 fans can look
half
for
a Kit Kat. That too.
F1 fans can look forward to consumer activations, promotional prizes, and immersive fan zones at select Grand Prix with trackside branding and cheerful, light-hearted content.
Oh my god, we're getting Kit Kat boards! Chris, you're going to Silverstone. I want a fucking Kit Kat board.
What I would love it if they also become a title sponsor of a Grand Prix.
That'd be amazing. The 2024 Kit Kat Silverstone Grand Prix.
What would be the funniest one? Like Hungary or something. What's
the
Kit Kat? That should be Snickers.
Grand Prix.
That should be Snickers, surely. You're not you when you're hungry.
Bringing its iconic "Have a break, have a KitKat" message to Formula One, the partnership champions the importance of taking a moment to pause
if
and
only
unite two diverse
ITV.
global fan bases in an innovative collaboration.
And here he comes now. Lando Norris is coming in for have a break, have a pit stop.
I was
If
about to say,
ITV was still in charge of the TV rights of F1, it would have been perfect for them to be like, it's now time for a KitKat. And
then
then
cut
go
to
to an ad
ads.
break. Cut back. Honestly.
Oh
F.
my god.
The fastest pit stop award does not become branded by KitKat, I'm going to be
That's
disappointed.
always going to be DHL. They've got that
Because
down.
DHL have got the fastest lap award as well.
True.
If it's all about have a break, have a KitKat, the pit stop is literally the break.
They sponsor practice 1, practice 2, and practice 3.
The only ones with ad breaks on Sky.
Yeah.
It is interesting to me though that they have gone with KitKat. Obviously, KitKat are owned by Nestle,
Yep.
and they have a whole array of chocolate bars. Like we could go into whichever fucking other chocolate bar it could have been. What interests me is the fact that Cadbury currently are running a promotion where you can win tickets to places such as the F1 arcade.
Mm.
So it interests me that they've gone with Nestle's chocolate and not continued their relationship with Cadbury's. Admittedly,
Cadbury.
that might be F1 Arcade specifically's relationship, but
True.
F1 Arcade is under the Formula One umbrella.
Yeah, it's
So-
owned by FOM.
It is interesting that you have two different branches of FOM opting for two different company chocolates.
It's the rival chocolates.
I just want to see what else Nestle have in terms of chocolate.
But the F1 arcade is also a UK only thing at the moment, so the Cadbury thing may just be UK, whereas Nestle and KitKat is going to be a
Cadbury
worldwide
sponsoring all
sponsor
over
of
Silverstone.
Formula One.
Okay, so Nestle. We could have had Quality Street,
Mm?
Milky Bar,
You get celebrations in Quality Street, don't you?
Smarties, Aero, Milky Bar,
Oh,
KitKat, Quality
It should have
Street,
been
Smarties.
Smarties, because then a driver could bin it into a wall, and then the commentator could be like, oh, he's not so smart after all, is he?
It would have made perfect wheels for my KitKat car.
Who is Skittles Nestle as well, or
Let's find out.
because then you could have rainbow tire barriers. It's like, he's
no.
tasted the rainbow.
That is Mars.
Ah,
That is the third player in the chocolate world.
We could have had... Is Kinder Nestle? Am I being stupid?
That's Ferrero.
Oh.
Ooh, fancy.
yeah, that's the
So why
posh
didn't they go for
Uh,
that? You know, better Bueno. That's some nice
Um,
chocolate. They could have had Bueno and Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be Paddock Club exclusive. Come on, man.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
They're just fucking...
They've got the
VIP bits. Their own
Hang on a
Ferrero
minute.
Rocher.
The Ferrero
Ginger
group.
ale.
The Ferrero group not only own Kinder, Ferrero Rocher, they also own Nutella
Oh.
and Tic Tac.
Oh.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Where did Tic Tac come from?
This is so weird.
Nutella I can understand. That's still chocolate. Fucking Tic Tac.
It's always good when you can go on Nestle's Wikipedia and there's controversies and criticisms. First of all, it's slavery.
No Wikipedia page is complete without a controversial criticism stat.
Yeah, but I don't think that's controversial. It's not. It's not like, well, slavery. I'm on the fence.
Well, Nestle perhaps were on the fence.
What?
Well,
I've
they
never
got
heard of
child
that one before.
labourers, didn't they?
Oh, okay, it's German. Okay. Though I'm going through all of like Ferrero's brands, and there's one called Duplo, and I was like, that's Lego, but it's a Duplo bar, and it's like chocolate and hazelnut in the same sort of size that we have those like little Kinder bars here. So, but they're not advertised to kids. Ferrero also have Eat Natural, those like cereal bars.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of the other ones we'd know. Crunch chocolate bars. It's a lot of European stuff, basically. Thornton's.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
interesting.
know that was them. Oh, maybe they bought them out when Thornton's went under.
Yeah, probably.
Nestle owns shredded wheat and Shreddies.
Okay, so
Imagine that.
that was their group brands. In related brands, they're owned by the Ferrero Group. Crunch Creams biscuits, Fox's biscuits,
Oh.
Jammy Dodgers,
Oh.
Maryland's,
Hmm.
Rockies, like the little chocolate biscuit bars, like Wagon Wheels,
Oh, the Wagon Wheel Grand Prix.
and Thomas Fudges. They're the ones I recognise.
Hello and welcome to the Turn 5 podcast does food.
Oh, and Royal Dansk. Okay, that's like shortbready sort of stuff.
If this isn't called the KitKat episode, I'm going to be disappointed.
It's just going to be, I suppose. No, it's the Las Vegas predictions episode and news.
That's next week.
Wait, what? No, Vegas is this weekend, isn't it?
It's the week after.
What? This is just a dud episode?
Yeah.
I just asked Sonia for her predictions.
That's why I described it as peacetime earlier.
Oh. Oh, yeah, look at that. The 22nd to the 24th. How about that?
Nestle also
Well, at
owns
least
Cheerios.
Sonia's in nice and early.
We could have had the Cheerio Grand Prix.
To be fair, that would be banging. Right, what else did Nestle own? San
Cheerio.
Pellegrino! What? I'm so confused.
Anyway,
Owns Starbucks.
What, Nestle?
wait, Nestle owns Starbucks?
Yeah.
Oh.
At the very least, in terms of their store products. Like when you go into a supermarket and you can buy like the pods of Starbucks coffee, they're Nestle.
Ah.
That's their partnership they've got. I don't know if they own the entirety of the Starbucks brand.
I doubt they own the whole of Starbucks.
But at the very least, they own the licensing rights, or whatever you want to call it, to produce Starbucks's instant coffee shit.
I've got other news from this week. Formula One Academy have made an announcement.
Oh, yes. I think I know this one.
The 2024 champion will receive a fully funded GB3 seat for 2025 with Road and Motorsport.
Don't like it.
Why is that?
Too far down the ladder.
Fair.
Give them an F3 seat.
Shouldn't they get a Freca seat, though?
We'll settle for Freca, but not GB3. GB3 is a downgrade on what they gave the last year's champion, which was a Freca seat.
Because, Freca is technically the step above where they are in the ladder. But
then
one
fine,
could
yeah,
argue,
give them a Frecker seat, but not a bloody GB3 seat. That is,
Yeah.
well, it's essentially a downgrade.
but in terms of the pyramid, though, it's technically higher than what they're in because it is still a Formula 3 car.
Yeah, but it's rough. Like, you're going from somewhere that goes on the Formula One calendar to something that is not broadcast on anywhere except like highlights on ITV4
Mm.
with the
What is wrong with the British touring cars calendar?
Absolutely nothing. I did find it on when I was on my break. The highlights were on. That was hilarious. 2:30 in the morning.
Rather go to Miami or Brands Hatch? Brands fucking Hatch.
Snetterton,
Yeah.
Alton Park,
Donington Park.
Thruxton. What a banger! Love a bit of Thruxton. I drive past it every time I go home.
Cadwell Park.
No, I've not been there.
Although they don't.
I've actually been to Snetterton, but I've not seen any racing at Snetterton. When I went to,
This
I've been Thruxton.
I've only ever driven past it a lot.
Yeah. They have Castle
So-
Combe as well, but
this isn't set in stone for any year other than this season, however,
Right, it's a
because they
one-time
have
deal.
said, yeah, that each year the F1 Academy driver development team will work closely with the F1 Academy teams and drivers in contention for the title to analyse the best next step for the champion and support their progression. So I think this is just a one-off.
is it Abby Pullen who's the lead?
Yes, Abby
Alright.
Pulling, we're delighted
Right.
to announce will drive for Roden Motorsport in 2025 in
Yeah,
GB3.
so she's doing GB4 this year as well.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, maybe they
Guess who she drives for in F1 Academy?
Who?
It's Rodin.
Oh.
So the team with the champion were like, "We'll have the champion, thanks."
Yeah.
I wonder why.
So does that mean
Um,
the F1 Academy are paying for her seat and she doesn't have to?
Yes.
And Rodin were
And
like,
Pirelli-
"Yes, good money
Yeah.
saved."
Also part funding it.
Yeah.
She's also going to get 20 days of testing in the GB3 car to support her campaign, which is quite generous.
Well, given that the last spout of competing
Yeah, GB3 testing.
resulted in get banned for a race.
Yeah. Also been announced that
Imagine that. Give her 20 days testing. And GB3 like, "No, that's not allowed. No."
You've been banned from the season because you did 20 separate days at 20 separate circuits, and we go to all of them.
Motorsport Vision Chief Executive Jonathan Palmer has announced that Motorsport Vision has increased its prize package for the most successful female racer in the 2025 GB4 Championship to €50,000, which she can put toward a 2026 season in F1 Academy. So I think they're sort of trying to build F1 Academy in as a sort of middle ground between Formula 4 and Formula 3. But obviously...
Well, it's not going to be above Formula 3, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
No.
Yeah, because it's a Formula 4 car, so...
Mm.
Yeah, and they'll just be put into Formula 3.
It's like the obvious pyramid is F1, F2, F3, F1 Academy. Is when you get stuff like Frecker, GB3, GB4, all of that stuff around it, like F4 Italian, F4 British, like where that fits in. It's like it's like the non-league part of the football pyramid, where it suddenly becomes very messy because nobody has the budget to go on away days from fucking Cornwall to Scotland.
Yeah.
Let's go up to Knockhill.
Yeah.
The Knockhill's a very good circuit to drive. Got to do it a few weeks ago. Fantastic.
Yeah, but like the distance between
yeah.
and Knockhill is fucking massive.
But things like that, you can sort of slot them in where they would logically sit based on what car they drive.
Yeah, to an extent, but then when you get stuff that
Because-
drives the same car, then what do, you know?
Yeah, like Freca is it. We basically coined it Formula 3.5 when they were part of the Formula One calendar.
Which makes
And
sense because
I
that's
sort of think
essentially
like
what it became.
GP3 and stuff sits there because it's the same car. And then there's the FIA Formula 3, which is meant to be these are all the best Formula 3 drivers. Formula 2 sort of sits on its own. It doesn't have any
Yeah,
sub
that is like
championships.
that is the point in the calendar. That is Formula 3 is the point in the pyramid that you have reached the league section of the football pyramid, where there is a
Yeah.
rigid structure of this leads to that, leads to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, theoretically, yeah.
Yeah, if you're good enough.
But you still need to time it right.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something I
Because
think a
there's
lot of
absolutely
people
been
don't
some drivers
appreciate.
that are coming through that are good enough that make it to the top but can't get to Formula One because there is just no space.
Because there are
Yeah.
old gits like Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso not fucking moving over.
What do you mean? That's the young upstart rookie Fernando Alonso. Bless you.
He's allergic to that, say.
I'm allergic to bullshit.
Bless you again.
I'm lucky.
I'm desperately trying to hold it in.
Some other news coming out either this week or last week. The Formula One rookie, well, not rookie, but post-season test race has been postponed until 2025.
Oh no. That bit's getting cut.
Yep.
Okay, leave it in.
Rich is having a breakdown because of post-season young developers race is getting postponed.
I can't believe it. They've got my favourite bit.
Yeah, it's been postponed.
That's your fucking
until
award show clip.
2025.
It's the only clip.
However, there are strong rumours that it will be broadcast when we do eventually have it. It'll just be carried by Formula One rights holders.
I reckon they should use like fucking tests as the stewards as well. Just get new stewards in, see what happens.
This is where there's no incident, not even a single like, track limits warning. They keep it so
These
clean.
stewards were the best. There was no mistakes. There was nothing to do. Gary from Sheffield promoted to Formula One.
You could use it to experiment with things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like double
yeah, this is my first week back since
the fucking dawn of time.
Since I got to go to London a few weeks ago and see the F1 exhibition.
Yeah, you could have had like the greatest segue in the world when Rich brought up F1 Academy earlier, but you didn't take it.
I was gonna, and then I noticed that, well, yeah, the F1 arcade, I was gonna, but then I noticed the news about the F1 arcade, the F1 Academy. I'm like, oh, this is more important. Yeah, I got to visit the Formula One exhibition the other week. Highly recommend for anyone who's even remotely interested in the sport. The level of detail and stuff in there is fantastic. A lot of the video pieces and stuff are, again, very good. And it's just filled with F1 cars. So if you like the sport and you like the cars, just go and look. Very pretty.
Well, if you like the sport and didn't like the cars, I'd be concerned.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
The F1 exhibition in London has been extended.
That's good news.
Until the 2nd of March, due to phenomenal demand, it says.
Yeah. In that case, you've got lots of time to go.
I might actually be able to make it.
Yeah, highly recommend. Probably the thing that sticks in my mind.
I've got a holiday in January.
Wow, Rich is going to London.
I might just.
The thing that sticks in my mind from it, and it's one of their main selling points and what they use in all the promo images and stuff. But when you round the corner at the very end of the sort of walkthrough, and Grosjean's car from Bahrain 2020 is sitting there, it's insane to look at, especially if you watch that race live. People, I spoke to my dad about it at the time. I fully thought I've just watched the man die on live TV. And so to know that he's still racing to this day and to see the state that that car is in, it is truly a testament to safety in Formula One. Definitely something I won't forget is seeing that car. I did, however, follow up on our conversation on it when it was first announced that the car is there. You unfortunately cannot get a good enough look into the footwell of the car to see if the shoe is still there. So I don't know
Is it
if it's
behind?
still at the pedals.
Is it behind glass?
It is behind glass, unfortunately.
Is there a lid
So
on it?
it's quite tall glass.
Hammer and chisel.
Fishing line, GoPro.
And I think there might be a lid on the glass as well.
God
Two
damn
different
it.
minds there.
Mine is stealth, yours is brute force.
Yeah, mine's there. Fuck it.
But yeah, you can't quite see in to notice if the shoe is still there. What I did find interesting is you can actually still see the outline of the livery and some of the sponsors and stuff has actually survived that fire.
Fireproof sponsorship.
Yeah. The halo as well is in remarkably good nick. Testament to the halo.
Well, it bloody well should be.
Yeah. Fucking flying for a fence.
Well, yeah, there was the halo that carved open the fence.
Yeah.
So the fact that that is still essentially fully intact is insane. There is, looking at it from the front, a big crack in it, but that's about it. It still holds its shape and stuff, considering it was through a fence and then cooked. That's rather surprising. Moving away from Grosjean's car, you've got lots of helmets through the years, a set of current F1 tyres. They don't tell you what compound they are, it's just soft, medium, and hard.
Ooh.
You also have the extreme wet. It's probably the first time I've seen them all year.
Did you watch Brazil? Yeah, I suppose you went before Brazil, didn't you? So
yeah. And the intermediates. But considering the extreme wets basically never show up to Grand Prix these days unless we start a race behind the safety car, we don't see them.
We saw them. We saw plenty of them in Brazil.
Yeah. They've got the Silverstone Trophy, like the actual BRDC trophy there, but I think that might just be for the F1 Exhibition London. I think
That
it
would make
start
sense.
and sort of customize it to different things. So they've got like the history of the Silverstone track as well, and yeah, just lots of different cars. McLaren 2007 car. They've got Verstappen's 2021 car, the RB16B. I think it's the W07 is there. There's bits of other cars as well, like front wings, rear wings, engines. There's just it's a Formula One geek's paradise, to be honest. And what's best is they've got a lot of videos that play throughout it. But to make sure that you're not just being bombarded with noise, everyone gets their own personal headset. And so you can essentially choose what videos you want to listen to.
Fair.
And at any one time. So that's
What are the choices?
there's loads of stuff on like aerodynamics, Bernie Eccleston, Senna,
Ugh.
Enzo
You're not
Ferrari.
choosing to listen to Bernie, are you?
No,
I'm
Bernie.
gonna
No, you want
choose-
to learn how to not pay tax.
I'm going to choose to listen to Bernie because I want double points this final race.
No, it's just people talking about Bernie.
You want to learn how to make money?
You want to learn how to be old enough to dodge prison time.
And then once you've got to the end, there's the row of pictures that everyone posts pictures beside of all 20 Formula One drivers, which they keep surprisingly up to date. I was obviously down not.
Daddy Rick, no!
I was down, obviously, in the week between the US Grand Prix and Mexico, and they had Colapinto up there. They had Liam Lawson up there. So they're relatively on the ball in that regard, in terms of keeping stuff up to date. But yeah, again, if you enjoy Formula One, go and visit. It's very, very good. Also, while I was down, I revisited the Formula One exhibition. No, I didn't. I only went there once.
You went there
Um,
again.
Yeah,
So
I
good,
went
he
back.
saw it twice.
Oh, also, they've got a big Formula E car in the Excel Centre if you're there, because obviously that's where the London E Prix is held every year.
Yeah.
No, I revisited the Formula One arcade, is what I was going to go for, and actually went racing this time. Highly recommend. During peak time, it's for a head-to-head race, which is between 2 and 3 people, is about £32 for 5 races. But during off-peak, that goes down to about 20 odd. And that's for over 25 minutes of racing. So between 25 and 30 minutes of racing. It's very good, very fun. Don't follow their advice and start on the lowest difficulty level. If you know your circuits, ignore that advice. If you don't know your circuits, fair enough, because then you won't know your braking points. But if anyone's played the Formula One game and knows anything about braking points, ignore what they tell you. Because one of the first races...
Turns to him and say, "What are you, my fucking race engineer? Piss off, mate."
Yeah, one of the first races in fact, the first race I did was around Spa, and it had me braking through Eau Rouge, up Radion, it had me braking through Pouillon, and I was getting very frustrated because once you've selected your difficulty level, there's nothing you can do until the next race. It's not like you can flick a switch and go, please stop. You're committed at that point. And so I finished 19th in that race because the AI weren't braking through flat out corners, and I was. But once I eventually solved that issue, it was much better. I could actually drive the cars the way I wanted to. But yeah, it's great fun. And if you go during a Formula One weekend, they do show every session live. Where for free practice, you just need to walk in. Same for qualifying. But for the race, if you're going to be there, you need to book a slot at one of their watch parties. That being said, if you book a space in the watch party, you do get unlimited sim racing for the length of the event. Which, if you do, I think it's about £60 for the standard entry to a watch party. But if you do 2 lots of sim racing, that's your major money back. Anything else after that is profit. You also get a welcome drink and things. What I would recommend, if you're going to do a watch party in London, is the pit wall seats, because then you're looking at the same data that the commentators have. There's a big screen with the main feed in front of you, and then on your pit wall, there's a quad display with the race control messages, live timing, driver tracker, and again, the live broadcast. That's also available during qualifying, but be there early because people will want those seats because it's got the most data to just sit and watch the session. Richard, what did you nearly die at?
I mean, I know it's London, but god damn.
What have you looked at?
At the drinks menu.
Ah, yes.
£7.20 for a pint of Heineken. Huh?
It does suffer. It suffers from 2 different taxes. It suffers from the centre of London tax, and it suffers from the "we put the F1 logo on this" tax.
Can we bring our own drinks in?
Not a chance.
To
be fair-
I don't know.
To be fair, the food isn't like
The food's not extortionate.
stupid. Like it's
I think-
London prices, yeah, but like
Yeah,
£18.50 for a burger, a double burger.
well, I got pizza. I'll send a photo of it into the group. It was actually really nice.
Well, given that actually I think you'll find it's a flatbread because pizza
Well,
is
sorry.
not on the menu.
Fucking fancy shite. We don't do pizzas, we do flatbread.
Well, there you go. There's a picture of my flatbread. My dad got one as well. We got 2 drinks. I think it came to about £38.
Yeah.
What I would say, again, if you're there, order everything through the website. Because if you order it with a person, they automatically add a 12.5% discretionary service fee. Would you look like an absolute arsehole if you turn around and say, "Can you remove that from the bill?" But if you order it online, you can do that yourself with no judgment.
Can you do it on the app?
Yes.
Excellent news. Download the Arcade Hub from either the Apple Store or Google Play today.
There is a QR code on every table that you can scan to order drinks and stuff.
Phenomenal.
They've made their own cocktails.
They have done the Weatherspoons approach.
They have indeed. As I say, you can avoid the service fee by ordering it online because it gives you options. You can either increase the service fee or, like I did, hit no. You can also order food and drink directly to your sim in case you're doing team racing and you've got a bit of time between races.
Wait, did you just say you can order drinks to your sim?
Yeah.
Let's do the
fucking shots.
We've heard of Beerio Kart. Let's get fucking wankered at the F1 sim. How quickly can you do a lap of Spa while chugging a pint?
Yeah, you can order it directly to your sim. And as I say, they show every Formula 1 session live. So it's very much worth it.
Last to first, but every overtake you do, you have to take an overtake shot. Oh my god. I'd be dead.
But yeah, again, it's a fantastic day out. Would highly recommend, especially if you're going to watch the Formula 1 and need somewhere to sit and watch it. Tie it in with some sim racing. What I done was when I was there with my dad, we sat and watched the FP1, booked our race for the gap between FP1 and FP2, and then sat and watched FP2, and then left. It's a couple of minutes walk from St Paul's tube station, which is on the Central line. The good thing is that's got a night tube service. So even for those pesky nighttime races, by our standards, for FP2 for Mexico City ended at midnight, you're safe.
Yeah,
Because you can just jump on the tube.
so long as you're not staying so long as you're staying in London and able to just utilise that. But for me, who would just go home, I'd have to leave early anyway, because the last train out of London to my place is at like just after 11.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Let me see if they've updated that timetable.
I find it quite funny. They are actually offering a watch party for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. I want to know how well that's sold.
That's at like 6 a.m.
Exactly.
Sign me up. I'm at work when it starts.
I'm off, actually, next weekend. But going to London's expensive.
Saturday night, yeah. Sunday morning.
Yeah.
6 a.m. Sunday morning. Yeah. Because Vegas is so far back, they host it on the Saturday. So that for the rest of the world, it's on Sunday, not Monday. So,
yeah, would highly recommend to anyone who is an F1 fan. Again, it's just fun.
It's so sad, isn't it? That like I know the station codes.
To be fair, I know a lot of airport codes now because of my job. But with that, I believe that wraps up this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast, unless you guys know of any news that was missed.
Max Verstappen took part in a 23-hour charity race for Mind, and there was some beautiful shithousery from their team.
Just look at the livery on his car.
The car livery is fucking brilliant.
Was that the one where you could donate to get someone else a time penalty?
Yes,
and
it was.
The person who was going to do it was going to penalise themselves.
Someone put a penalty for Max's team car number 1 penalty. Max then decided to give them 6 penalties. And they were already last. And then also on their team livery, there was the picture of the Lando going off at turn 1 in Brazil saying "Think different." And there was also the picture of FIA Max Verstappen 10-second time penalty.
On the side pod of the car, there was the photoshopped Sid the Sloth in Red Bull racing regalia. And the rear wing of the car was absolutely covered in text that I haven't been able to actually read yet, but apparently that's worth a read.
Disappointing that there wasn't like a picture of Michael Massey or something somewhere on the car.
That's on the underside of the floor.
Or Binotto on the phone.
I think he was racing with Gabriel Bortoleto as well. I'm pretty sure Bortoleto threatened to give Max a penalty, and Max responded by saying, "I will punt you in FP1 at Bahrain."
Starts the season with a bang.
Yeah.
Literally. I think I need to go and watch some of the highlights of this race now.
So good.
Yeah, see if you can find some pictures of his livery. And if you can find one that shows the rear wing, send it me.
Is there anything else we've missed?
Don't think so.
Very well. That wraps up this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast. Join us next week where we'll be previewing the Las Vegas Grand Prix, starting to look at championship permutations because we're into that season now. RIP Lando Norris's title challenge, June 2024 to November 2024.
This feels like Man United's title challenge in like 2022 when they got battered by a 7-0. Well, that's over.
Yeah. But until then, thank you very much for watching. As always, we will see you next week. Ta for now.